Oh, hi everyone. Today we're looking at something that has been seemingly a massive problem for collectors to get a hold of. This is the Gamerverse Marvel Legends Psylocke vs. Thanos, which is based heavily off of their designs from the game Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They did not say that explicitly because they can't, because Marvel vs. Capcom is not something that they're allowed to name by name, but that is basically what these designs are based on. Now, people have been really struggling to find these because of one figure in particular, and that, of course, is obviously Thanos. No, it's not Thanos. It's the Psylocke, because people are trying to complete their 90s X-Men collection, and it's been a long time since we've had a purplish blue Psylocke in the line, and this one, by all accounts, is probably the best one we're ever going to get. I say that, but don't worry, next year we'll get one that's even better, I'm sure. But looking at the packaging here, I love the look. The pixel art, Psylocke versus Thanos name right here on the side here. Beautiful pixel art of Thanos. Looks great in the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 design. The Gamerverse up here. On the other side here, we have another piece of pixel art with Psylocke, as well as a render of her here. On the back, you can see something that I love so much, which is the Marvel vs. Capcom, the training area arena, because it's the grid. You can see the three names on the whole team: Psylocke, Wolverine, War Machine, Thanos, Silver, Omega Red. Looks fantastic. I love it. Up here, armed with her psychic blades, the telepathic mutant Psylocke battles the Mad Titan Thanos, and I really like it a lot. On the bottom, big leaves. On the top, Gamerverse. So yeah, let's open it. All right, here's the Gamerverse Psylocke and Thanos out of the 2-pack, and I don't know. I was expecting to go into this to really be kind of blown away with the Psylocke, because everybody's been talking about it nonstop. Because this is something that people have been waiting for a long time. Psylocke on a better body, because that first one that we got a couple years ago was kind of it was good by then, but it's rough by our standards now. And so I was very much anticipating this one to kind of blow me away. It's a good figure. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but I will say I was more surprised by how much I really enjoyed this Thanos. Because I have the original first release Infinity Gauntlet Thanos, so I didn't feel like I needed another one. But this one's kind of catching me a little off guard here. I'm kind of really liking it. But out of the package, the two of these look fantastic. I like these figures look really good. This is the first I've had of this new Gamerverse line, and these are really good. There's the Omega Red, the War Machine that have just come out. That I don't have those, but I might try and get those at some point. But this looks really good. So let's actually take off the spinny base here really quickly and take a closer look. So let's start here with what I think is maybe the sleeper hit of this set, and that is the Thanos. I think this Thanos is really good. This is, of course, the Marvel vs. Capcom-based Thanos. This is not your classic comic book Thanos. You could use him in your comic shelf, though. It's pretty much a standard design. But this is not your classic Infinity Gauntlet Thanos like this one right here. You can see the colors are very different. This has a much brighter blue. The gold is a lot shinier. This one has more of a dull blue with a hint of purple that almost matches his skin, and you can even see the skin tone on this Thanos is much darker than on this one, and it creates a nice shade contrast look here. And I don't know, as much as I do love this Thanos, and I love this Thanos, especially next to my Adam Warlock, something about this one, I don't know, there's something about it that I really like. And honestly, there's less reuse here than I thought there was. So the base body is the same. Arms are the same, legs are the same, torso is the same. That's all the same. But you can see here, the boots are different. The cuffs are different for the boots. Even the waist piece here, same general mold. However, there's a cut added now. If I can move his hand to the way. There's a cut now here in the side where there wasn't before, which allows for a better range of motion. Not the best range of motion, but a better range of motion nonetheless. The shoulder piece is different. You can see it's much higher this time around. The gloves are different. The cuffs are different. I think the gloved hands themselves specifically are the same, including the Infinity Gauntlet hand he has here. But it looks really good. And I was unfortunately, though, he only does come with this one snapping hand. He doesn't come with any alternate accessories. He doesn't come with any effect pieces like Psylocke does. He doesn't come with an open hand or a clawing hand. He doesn't come with an alternate head, which kind of sucks because it feels like Thanos is a little bit of an afterthought for this set. He probably was, but still, I don't necessarily like that. I would have liked a little bit more balance out here, but from what I've seen of these 2-packs, there seems to be a really big jump onto one character, and then the other guy just kind of gets screwed a little bit. So I guess that's Thanos in this set. But I really, really like this Thanos. I don't know why. Like, something about it I really like. I think it's the colors, the vibrancy. It's a different look for Thanos, and I really appreciate that. I think it looks really, really good. But as for like the articulation for this, there's really not much to talk about. He's really limited. Like, there's more motion now because of the cut and the waist piece, but for the most part, he's really limited. He can look up about that far, look down that far. Head is on a ball joint, so you get a full 360 there. There's an ab crunch, which can lean far back and then about that far forward. You can't really rotate that much. Actually, you can. Actually, these actually help because the other one, it would kind of stop it a little bit. These actually allow me to get a full range of motion there, which is nice. So there, arms go out that far. Oops. And they just popped right out. You know, they popped out. I didn't even mean to do that. They popped out because this was once a Build-A-Figure. So, I don't know. Keep an eye on that, I guess, that the arms pop out. Did not expect that. That was not planned. That was wild. Arm go out that far. There's a swivel here at the elbow, or the bicep. I'm all flustered now because I did not expect his arm to blow out of socket like that, like a character from Toy Story. Swivel here at the elbow. Arm goes down that far, up that far. Not a lot of range of motion. Swivel here at the wrist, and the hands go up and down. Same thing on the other side there. He does not have any drop down hips or anything like that. He can kick that far forward, which is a bit far forward than the other one can. Actually, let me get to the Thanos here. Actually, no, it's not even really all that far forward because this one lifts. Like this waist piece lifts and moves. This one's static. So I guess their trade-off was keep this waist piece static, or at least static-ish, and then have the cut there so that way it keeps the range of motion but it doesn't move the waist piece. I don't know. There's a swivel here at the waist. You can get a full 360, but I'm not going to because I don't want to break something else. Swivel here at the thigh, double jointed knees. Boot go for that far down, and there is no swivel here at the ankle, which is a bit of a shame. Like I really like this Thanos. Visually, I like it, but I can see why people wanted that Psylocke a lot more than this Thanos. Speaking of her, let's take a look at her. And here we have the never-ending retcon that is Psylocke, and this is 90s looking Psylocke, so I'm going to take a guess and say that this is Betsy inside of Quannon's body. Which is, oh god, Psylocke is so confusing and frustrating. God, she's so frustrating. But, you know, you gotta get her to complete that 90 set. You gotta go to complete that X-Men #1 cover. But, man, she is a frustrating and confusing character. This figure, however, is also a little frustrating, for a couple reasons, which might just be QC issues on my part. But this is the first time I'm actually feeling this new body. Like, I haven't seen this new body in person, the new female body with the ab crunch. So this is all new to me. Ab crunch, butterfly joints, pinless, everything about this is brand new to me. And I like it. It's good. This is from what I know, most of this is just the reuse of that. I think it was a Black Widow, and then it was a Phoenix that used that body type. But honestly, a lot of it is I think a lot of it is new. I didn't expect them to be, but her wraps around her thighs here are molded on. They're not painted. They're molded. You can see that if you get it up close there. The gloves or the wrappings around her hands are molded. These are molded here, her arm wrap pieces. The belt is new, if I'm not mistaken. Yet, the top here is also molded. You can see it on the neck there. I mean, the boots are just whatever. But this is all new stuff. This is all a new mold, and that's impressive. Honestly, I did not expect that much work from the Marvel Legends team. But I guess it has been a long time since we've gotten a proper Psylocke, so they probably wanted to do this and then be like, we got it, we're good. I did hear them mention, though, that we might be getting a re-release of this at some point down the line, and a retro card. So probably this, but sans 90 of the accessories. But I'm curious to see how that will look, if it'll just be a straight re-release of this, or if there'll be some a repaint. Maybe it'll be in the black color, like the X-Force team. I don't know. Leave it down below in the comments what you think might happen with that. But I like this figure for the most part. My QC issues come with the fact that you'll probably see it later in the video. When I went to swap the head out for this, I pulled it off, and the ball joint came with it. Not the head, the ball joint and the head came off in one piece. Because this part right here on the neck is kind of a soft rubbery material, so it tends to pull and warp a lot easier than if it were like a harder plastic. Not that I'm complaining, I would rather it warp and bend than it would snap and break. Because I was worried that I broke it. I was going to be really livid if I broke it, because this thing was not cheap. I would have been very upset if I had broken this, but I didn't, so we're fine there. I also will say the butterflies on this figure are very like loose. They don't sit in a way that I like. They're looser than I would like, and this might just be nitpicking at this point, but they sit looser than I would like. But like the mold itself for this figure is really impressive. You can see like the defined muscles in her legs and in her calves back here. Like her calves are huge back here. Nothing crazy in the bicep department, but she didn't really need to be. Ab crunch is always appreciated. Like this is just a really good looking figure. The head sculpt here is also very impressive. Like this is a really solid looking head sculpt. I think mine on the default face here is a little off center. Like it's a little off skew. That might just be my eyes saying that, but like it looks a little off skew, which is like not the worst thing in the world. There you go, it's fine now. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I like that the hair has like black with hints of purple, or purple with hints of black, depending on how you see it. I like that a lot. I think it looks good. And also on her alternate head sculpt here, if I grab it here, it has that a lot more. Like the black is there, but it's mostly this like huge purple that's shining through. And this head sculpt is also great. The grimacing, like angry face looks really good. Like the bright purple eyes and everything, it looks really good. And the hair swooshies. It's a very solid sculpt. And as we know, this is based off of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, except they can't say that. It's Marvel Gamerverse. It's not Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Who in their right mind would create a 1/12 scale Street Fighter and Street Fighter adjacent toy line to go along with this Marvel vs. Capcom Marvel adjacent toy line? Who would do that? That would be ridiculous and absurd if anyone would ever even consider doing that. So obviously I'm not going to. So we have the pieces that she comes with here, which are abilities that she uses in the game. I am not very good at Marvel vs. Capcom. I never have been good at fighting games, but I do recognize these. I recognize these abilities, and I recognize that the hand she uses for them. She does not come with a katana, which I feel like is a bit of a wasted spot because she always has a katana. She has this here, which attaches to her hand like so, which is very cool and appreciated. Like that, nice, very cool. So you have her psionic like energy blade. However, she has a grip like a C-grip hand. She can't like grip anything. There's nothing for her to like hold, which makes me think like, was she supposed to come with a katana? Because she doesn't have one. She doesn't have a katana. She has one punching hand, one like open like force using hand, one C-grip hand, and then there are two, I don't know, Jeff Hardy taunts. Like I don't even want it in here. But actually, let's take a look at those hands she comes with. So like I said, force grip. A force push, like C-grip hand, one lone left cross hand, and like I said, the Jeff Hardy taunt hands, which are cool. I like that. But it sucks that she doesn't have like two sets of punches and two sets of grabs. I don't know. Is it nitpicking? Maybe a little bit, but I feel like I've been getting spoiled by G.I. Joe for collecting that so long that I'm so used to having like, oh, well, if you have one punch, you obviously have another hand for that. You obviously have both. Why wouldn't you? That'd be ridiculous. Maybe I'm just a little spoiled on that department. But these hands are nice, and again, like I said, they're all molded to match the cloth that she's wearing, like her wrappings that she has on her arms. So it looks really good. The molding is appreciated. I prefer it over the paint. There's a little bit of a sloppiness right there, but I guess not everything's gonna be perfect. But it's still cool to have these because you can use these hands, and through the power of editing, you can get her hitting some very, very cool energy poses with a proper use of a stand, of course, because she can probably do this on her own, but the stand helps add some elevation to it, which again looks really cool. Like the energy blast firing from both sides looks really cool, especially with the angry face. Makes a very nice visual. Getting these on was a little bit of a pain, but I found the best thing you could do, as opposed to like putting them in like the clips, is to grab them from like the side, like the knuckle here, and on the back, and use that as a connector. It's a bit more. It's a bit better. It doesn't fall quite as easily, which is cool. So you can actually get her in like a cool pose like this, using her energy attacks and stuff against Thanos or perhaps somebody else from the Marvel Gamerverse line, or anyone else that she chooses to go against. And you can get both Psylocke and Thanos in their standard Marvel vs. Capcom 2 idle poses, or the closest approximations I could get, because It's been a while since I played. This is just off my head. You can see Thanos is much taller than Psylocke here. But that's not all. Betsy does, or Quentin, I guess. Betsy does, of course, have the, butterfly effect that she does whenever she uses her psionic powers. Sometimes, not all the time. Whenever she uses her psionic powers to create like a butterfly around her head, which looks really cool. However, it is a pain to put on because you have to clip it onto this little hair piece right there, like the hair strand, and then connect it to the inside of her ear, which can be a little tedious to do. And I don't think it looks very good. I think it's a little too thin. So I realistically should probably never get a Withers on my shelf. But it's there for those of you who like that specific look. As articulation, head is on a ball joint. Ball swivel. Butterflies that go that far back. Go that far forward. Ab crunch goes down that far. Ab crunch goes back that far. Swivel here at the bicep. Double jointed elbows on both sides. Kick that far forward. Can't kick back at all. Double jointed knees. Can't kick her own butt because her calves are too big. Swivel here at the thigh, like so. Both sides. Foot goes up that far. Goes down that far. Swivel. Jeff Hardy hands have an up and down hinge. C-grip hands have an up and down hinge, but you can't even really use it because her hands are too big. Force hand can go back that far and can go forward that far. Works a bit better for that hand. Punching hand can go up that far and go down that far. As for size comparison, here they are next to my most recent review of Fantastic Four She-Hulk, and she is about as tall as Thanos, and I think that's really funny. Here they are next to the Rattler Baroness, a figure that I have not yet reviewed, but I do have it filmed, so I just have to put it up at some point. And here they are with one of the Power Rangers. It's the black Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers figure. I just put them there for size comparison because I have one. And lastly, we have the Marvel Maximum series, the Maximum Spider-Man, who is unofficially the Marvel vs. Capcom Spider-Man figure. Now look, it may be unofficial, but look at that pose. Come on, he wants to take you for a ride. And there you have the Gamerverse 2-pack of Psylocke and Thanos. And I like these guys for the most part. I feel like the Psylocke might be a bit overhyped, and the Thanos is a little underhyped. I think there's a nice middle ground there, where both these figures are pretty solid. But some people can't see that like I can, I guess. The articulation on the Psylocke is good. I wish it was a little better. I wish she had an ankle pivot, or like a calf cut that allowed for more range of motion there. I wish that, as opposed to the ab crunch, it was a double ball, because I don't know. I'm used to the Black Series figures that have those, and I think those work really well. I don't know. There's some minor things about it that I wish were different, that obviously can't be changed, but I'm still going to complain about it, because it's my job on the internet to complain about toys. Thanos is really good. Really, really good. I don't know if I like it more than my Infinity Gauntlet Thanos, but I really like the colors on this, and I like the way it looks. So that's appreciated for sure. I do want to say thank you, all of you, for sticking into this, because by the time this uploads, this will be my 3-year anniversary of doing YouTube videos. Like 3 years ago, I uploaded the Silk and Doc Ock 2-pack review, so I felt like it was apropos to upload a 2-pack review for Marvel Legends just the same. One that was highly sought after, and I'm sure by this time, 3 years, will be forgotten, much like that 2-pack was. But thank you all so very much for sticking into this. If you've stuck to the end of this and you've stuck around for 3 years, I really appreciate that. And I'm not getting teary-eyed. I just have something stuck in my throat. Ugh, we're good. But seriously, thank you all so very much for sticking around to the end of this. If you liked it, there will be more, almost certainly. And you can see how heavy my camera is because it kept dragging down and Thanos kept getting shorter. But thank you so very much for sticking into this. I will have more out eventually, probably in a couple days. But I want to make sure I get this one out for August 31st, which is my anniversary from this YouTube channel, which is pretty funny. So yeah, if you want to see anything else, let me know. And I'll see you next time. Probably going to get the rest of these because I'm a sucker for most of them, especially that Wolverine. That Wolverine looks really good. So I'll see you around then, I guess. I can't say Yocho. Choose your challenger. Did that work? Did that work for you?